Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video. God damn it. And I decided to do this video because I think I kind of didn't get to the point and I went way overboard. But I'm going to make this like shorter. I'm going to talk about like tech and the YouTuber TruthStream media kind of inspired me to talk about tech and all that, and then I seen, and that woman has a nice voice on there too, you know what I mean, pretty cool, and I'm partial to tech like that, you know, all kind of stuff I see that's coming true, unlike people say conspiracy theory. I follow everything that's coming true, like that woman I saw on Ripley's Believe It or Not, that new Ripley's Believe It or Not, I think it's on the Travel Channel or something, that they made this hand, you know, with a digital printer that could move. She was born, nice looking woman, she was born without a hand, and they give her this hand that she has to plug it in and recharge it, but she can use a bow and arrow with it and everything, you know. So TruthStream media talks about transhumanism and cyborgs, so there you go, it's coming true and important. But then I want to talk about these flyboards, you know what I mean. I seen that on the morning news, and I seen that on TV news a couple times. And I mean, your thing almost like Michael J. Fox in one of the Back to the Future sequels, the hoverboard. They got the flyboard now, and a far cry from the jetpacks that you may be seeing about, that you know, that or you've seen in portrayed in movies, like a thing you steer in a big old backpack. And I think they're gonna get. If you guys seen that on the news at all, you know they're gonna get where, when you have digital devices that are getting smaller and paper thin, and you get flat screen TVs, very thin, you don't need a bulky TV anymore. Pretty soon it's going to be like the villain in one of the Resident Evil movies when they were in that bunker. Or Star Wars, you know. Return of the Jedi had it where the rebels were in the room and the image, they're talking. Then one of the Resident Evil movies had the, instead of a TV, the bad guys around the table, and then the villain was addressing all the other villains in an enhanced image instead of a TV. So there you go. But anyway, back to the flyboards. The flyboard gives me like a good example of when I seen this. It reminds me of tech that I seen in one of my favorite anime cartoons. I want to make the villain in one of the episodes. You know that instead of just a board, they're going to be able to put a device around your waist, maybe under a trench coat. You secret soldiers, secret assassins, even criminals will get a hold of them, and put in the parentheses things that make people bulletproof without Kevlar anymore too, an energy shield, whatever it is. The reason why I say that, because a villain in one of my favorite anime cartoons was on Adult Swim, Cartoon Network. Cowboy Bebop, which back in my early days of YouTube, my YouTube channel was called Cowboy Bebop 444, and then I finally started enhancing some of my other videos. I mean, doing things in my videos that I'm getting better at, you know, and featuring that. My talking was better too, but anyway, Cowboy Bebop, there was an episode, a villain named Mad Pierrot. He was an experiment. He was like an enhancement experiment created by the international, which became an interplanetary space force, because everybody was able to go to Mars. They were, if you followed the whole show, Earth was all different, and then they were able to go to Mars. The Mafia Syndicate, which our hero Spike has his final showdown against the final episode, was Mars. That crime syndicate was at Mars. But anyway, and to talk about artificial anatomical arms, you know, enhanced arms that I just spoke of. Our other hero had a cybernetic kind of arm. Did a bad guy you see later, the guy used to be a cop, and his own partner, which was in one of the episodes later, was behind it and participated in setting him up, and he had his arm blown off by a shotgun or whatever and survived and everything else. But in that episode, but anyway, yeah. The hoverboard thing, the one character I was talking about that was after Spike, he escaped. He was an experiment, like a secret assassin. He was groomed to be this, an enhancement experiment. And he had some kind of device under his coat or on him that he was able to look for his victims and fly right above the skyscraper city buildings, just looking down the streets. And then he had like a whole arsenal under his trench coat and everything else. And he escaped. He was just mad serial killer, you know, and his first targets were the ones he felt that screwed him over. That in the show, they made a final diagnosis on him. Final conclusion, regression, a marked regression of the mind has occurred. He will now be quarantined in a quarantine facility. The sample will be quarantined in a quarantine facility, but he escapes. He's superhuman. They didn't know. They created more than they can handle, and they broke out. So then he's hunting after all the other people he's after. And, so in one of his quirky little expressions, he lands down. He's walking. He has a cane that's also a gun and a top hat, and he bows like, "Hello, gentlemen. I journeyed here in order to take your lives." And then there's a gun battle going on. He shoots down all these guys, and Spike, our hero Spike, he was playing pool and smoking cigarettes. He decides to go out and have a cigarette. He's standing in the shadows and witnesses this gun battle going on, and this super villain killing all these guys. And our hero Spike thinks that he didn't see me standing in the shadows, and the guy looks right over and goes, "Hello, boy." So Spike, to make a long story short, Spike narrowly escapes with his life, and then he gets away from him. But in the final showdown, they have a final showdown in a theme park where there's nobody at. Then he finally kills the guy, and then Spike's partners go, "Oh, we finally found out what he is," and then he interrupts and says, "Never mind, I know," and he hangs up. You know, Spike already defeated the guy, you know what I mean? And then the end of the cartoon goes, "God, I hate theme parks." But anyway, I just, first thing that came to my mind with that is, like, you gotta wonder, you could have secret assassins out there, or whatever people are creating with genetic experiments or any other kind of enhancements or drug enhancements, or that somebody could be secretly doing there, or with people or animals, and they escape, you know. It kind of makes you wonder, you know what I mean? The creator of the cartoon probably had a lot of very brilliant person there. The creator of the series, very brilliant person. Too bad they don't bring the cartoon back, like, you know, like at the end where the final showdown, the final episode, like Spike doesn't die after all or whatever, you know, in his final battle with the Syndicate, and then the series go on or whatever. I always wondered if you had somebody, real actors, you know how they're making movies out of all the Marvel characters now? If you got this far in this video, what do you think, if they could make that into a movie with real playing characters, who would you get? What star would you get to play Spike? What star would you get to play the guy with his arm? The Jet? Who would you get to play Faye Valentine? And I got a few I got a few pictures of certain people in my mind. You know, they wore the hairdo. But yeah, they were. Yeah, anyway, in the movie, they were all bounty hunters and catching criminals for a living. But yet still barely eating. You know, there was the cartoon series did a variety of topics. I mean, it was almost to send messages in so many ways, even about human nature. And, but yet that cartoon was full of the ideas of what technology can be into, and a future as far as space travel, people inhabiting Mars and other planets. You know, a fiction that can come true somehow. It would appeal to you if you've already seen movies like Dune. Where if you remember the movie Dune, yes, in my other videos I'm bringing up Dune one more time, because in Dune, Paul Atreides was looking at a thing that we didn't have now. We call it an iPad, but before we even had iPads, the movie Dune, Paul Atreides was looking at this thing. Oh, this planet is Planet Kaitain, home of the Emperor of the known universe, and Planet Gidi Prime, home of Baron Harkonnen, who hates the Duke, and all that, you know. He who controls the spice controls the universe. And now we have iPads, you know what I mean? So look, that tech already come true. But and who's to say, you know, you can't have a variety of tech and enhancements, technical, tech-like, and genetic and transhumanic type things to enhance somebody, almost like maybe Van Damme, the movie Universal Soldier, kind of touched on it a little bit, you know what I mean, too. But who the hell knows, you know, just like what your thoughts, I mean, the tech for it is already there, and they've been Frankensteining people for years, and people have been working on all kind of different things, saying it was conspiracy theory, but the government already had it. Then somebody releases a version of it to the public after all these years, and we can own it. You know, you have regulators called the FCC and everything else. Even before the FCC, before a device is allowed to fall in the hands of regular people, and companies are graced with the privilege to sell it, or they're sold, or companies that the government puts up for sale or whatever, the privileges to manufacture any kind of a device under a name. I don't care if it's Samsung, I don't care if it's freaking LG, whatever brand name. Every single brand name in tech has a rival, and but they all are graced with one entity somewhere that we don't always know about, the right to sell the tech and what each device is allowed to have, you know, so everybody makes money. Very fascinating stuff, you know what I mean?